Okay, here's something interesting about the surging energy prices. Are the energy prices because of inflation, or is it because energy is being sabotaged across the globe in the name of ESG? You know, energy facilities are being
Well,
decommissioned, nuclear facilities are being decommissioned. A lot of the oil and gas, whatever your opinion on like if they are long-term sustainable, they are being proactively taken down. Is that inflation, or is that, the supply chain being attacked, right? Because I feel like that's something that we've been pointing out for a long time. And I think that is a much more logical explanation for a lot of the price increases that people across the globe are experiencing.
well, yeah, and I mean they're just kind of slitting their own throat on that kind of stuff because uh, I think we both agree that the oil and petroleum products are the best form of energy. So they're just getting themselves deeper into a hole. I think it's also interesting that OPEC and the US are both curtailing their production. So the US now is right around 11 and a half million barrels of oil every day. That's how much it's produced here. But prior to COVID, we were getting really close to 14 million barrels per day. So, and Biden has closed down the Keystone pipeline. Now he's threatening to close down another pipeline in the north part of the country. And so it seems like if push comes to shove, the US could pump out 2 million more barrels of oil a day to meet global demand, and OPEC similarly. So it's almost like these companies don't want to produce this because they like the high prices. I mean, obviously, they like to sell oil at $85 a barrel instead of $50 a barrel, right? So I don't know if it's so much shooting themselves in the foot with closing down nuclear power plants, or if it is also the kind of cabal that we see in energy production. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, again, I feel like this is where Bitcoin being proof of work and requiring energy is so, so important, because when you understand that energy certainty is something that is not part of the current incentive structure, you get very concerned because we are all used to having energy certainty and availability of energy is key to moving the masses forward. Maybe it's not key for keeping the elite comfortable, but it's key for moving the masses forward. And like that's what I am concerned about. So Bitcoin as being something that requires energy and incentivizes energy production is the opposite incentive to what we're experiencing now, which is a system, however you want to explain it, that decentralizes energy production. And I think that ultimately, decentralizing energy production doesn't make the world greener, right? Producing energy in productive, efficient, logically consistent ways is how we, make the most of all the resources that we have at our disposal. And again, I think that Bitcoin aligns incentives there. And, we need Bitcoin, guys. Like we desperately need it because our current governance set is pushing us into poverty by effectively pricing us out of energy.
Yeah, I think disincentivizing energy production is just a way. It's like I just picture in my head, you know, walking into enslavement because your economy is not going to do very well. Your neighbors that don't have these same crazy policies are going to do better than you, and you are going to be at the whim of uh, neighbors. So take Russia's relationship with the EU right now. I mean, Russia owns the EU. If they want to cut off heating natural gas to the EU, they can. So that is, I mean, if you just you are putting a shackle around your leg if you don't follow the proper economics on this, and that is not towards wind and solar, at least at this time, because it's just not sustainable, or it's not reliable enough.
I mean, and again, it's like why no? I just don't understand why no nuclear, right? Like that it just like that is perplexing in and of itself. Other than the fact that it's less profitable for the producers, right? wind and solar is very profitable for the people who actually produce that stuff. I don't know.
Well, it's
But
wind and solar are profitable for the shovel makers, right? The
exactly,
people,
it's
yeah,
profitable, more profitable for the industry,
right. Well, yeah,
but it just makes less sense.
I was growing up in the 80s, I was always thinking that, oh, it's just a matter of time before we have mini reactors at each house and we have this decentralized grid. And no, I mean that's nowhere near in the future.
Well, I mean, again, Bitcoiners are the only ones who are painting a future where that is even realistic again. So I think that Bitcoiners are the only people who are painting a beautiful vision of the future, right? Everyone else is painting
Yeah.
dystopia, eating bugs, you'll own nothing, reducing. You are the carbon that they are trying to reduce in their image of the future. And I think Bitcoiners have a much more wholesome vision, where again the world is bountiful and it's a beautiful vision. So I think ultimately that's why Bitcoin wins, and we have the underlying economics to prove it, and we talk about that every day on this show.